It is Sunday, June 21st. Imagine it. You're me, going about your week. And then you realize on Friday, June 27th, you are going to be judging and guesting at a convention for the first time. I have never guested, I've never judged, but Arkansas Anime Festival reached out to me like back in December, and they were like, hey, we know you, big fans of your work. You want to come and judge this cosplay competition and be a guest for the 3-day weekend? We'll pay for your hotel and your badges and your gas and like literally everything. And I said, for sure. Initial thoughts before I even get to the convention is, I'm nervous. Like I said, never done this before. I have a lot of friends or I know people who like guest or judge quite often. Me, never. Do I hope this opens the door to do more of that stuff in the future? Absolutely. However, I'm just scared right now. I've been doing cosplay competitions for 6 years. I've been making my outfits for about just as long. I compete in the Master Division now. I've placed in the Master Division before. So I know I'm like qualified to do this. It's just I've never done it before and now I'm really nervous. But it's gonna be a fun time, it's gonna be great. So I guess I need to start packing. I'm really bad at filming, but I got a picture of all my bags packed, and then me and my sister hopped into the car and she took these god-awful photos of me. Nevertheless, we persisted. We stopped at a Buc-ee's, which was very overstimulating, and then we got to Arkansas and got boba and got to our hotel room, and it was phenomenal. We're at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. So I made it to Arkansas. Very fun, very fun. I got all my stuff set up. I'm about to iron some outfits, did some wig styling. It's a great time. My hair is wet because me and my sister were going insane after the car ride. So we jumped into the pool and swam for about an hour, which was a lot of fun. They also informed me that Arkansas Anime Festival had like my room, whatever room they booked, qualified for free breakfast the whole weekend. So we get free breakfast, which was good because I was scared that we were not gonna have anything to eat for breakfast besides like protein bars and trail mix that I brought. But I'm going to go ahead and finish styling some wigs and ironing some outfits. And then I think me and my sister are just going to crash for the night. And fall asleep we did. We crashed. But then it was Friday morning, which meant it was time to get all my stuff ready to go to my table. I had Amy with me on the dress form. I also had our hammer you can see back there. And I had some wigs to put on display for the weekend. But Friday I was Sailor Mars, and this is the only video I got as proof. So we got into costume, got to my table, set up, and had a good time. There actually wasn't a ton for us to do Friday night besides be freaks. I got all set up at my table and we just kind of waited for the crowds to come. Eventually, crowds did come and people stopped and they talked to me. I also got to meet my fellow judges, Tabitha Cerberus and Honeybun Cosplay, so that was really nice. I got some pictures of Sailor Mars, did a new panel, that was great, and then I was exhausted, so I went back to my hotel room. Day one is done, gang. Let's get hype. I was exhausted, but nevertheless, I wiped my makeup off and got stuff in my eye, which was super fun. I got something in my eye. Ugh. Day one was absolutely wonderful. I talked to so many wonderful people. So many people came up to my booth and talked to me. I got to yap, which is my favorite thing ever. My sister and I had some good conversation, ate dinner. I got to run a new panel called From Research to Reality, How to Make a Cosplay, and it was just basically covering the research portion of cosplay into what are the basics of sewing and foam work and wig work and things like that. And I thought it went really well. For a late panel, it happened at 7:30, everything closed at 7, so I figured no one was gonna show up, but about like 10 to a dozen people showed up. I was pretty happy with that turnout, and it was a great time. Like everybody who showed up was so enthusiastic. So many people shared wonderful questions and resources, and I was just like, gosh, I love the cosplay community. I am so excited for tomorrow. I convinced another person to join the cosplay competition because I'm evil. But I convinced somebody tonight to join, so I really need to get to bed because we are about to wake up tomorrow, get up early, get breakfast, get into cosplay, do a photo shoot, and then table and judge for like basically 10 hours. So yeah, I'm going to bed. And go to bed we did. We watched House Hunters and then we crashed before waking up the next morning and getting the complimentary hotel breakfast, but it filled us up for the day, so that didn't matter. My sister also did this for some reason. I don't know why she did that. But then I got to get into Mary. Mary is from an indie horror game called Eve, and she's my favorite cosplay I've ever made, and I love her a lot, and people don't know what she's from. But we got all my stuff down to the table again, and me and my sister got to chill for a few hours in the morning, so there was nothing else we could do besides be freaks. However, people at this con actually knew what Eve was, and I even met somebody who dressed up as Eve because they knew I was going to be Mary, and it was awesome. We're having a good time. Cosplay contest prejudging in like an hour. Lots of people coming up, talking, yapping, spent some money that I don't have, but that's okay. Somebody also cosplayed Eve because I was cosplaying Mary. We love that. Shout out Peach Woes, made my whole weekend. So I am terrified to judge, but also we're gonna have a good time. We got like 7 or 8 more people in this morning. She's not judging.
I'm not.
I am. It's gonna be so much fun. I was obviously prejudging, so I did not film in prejudging, nor was I able to film the competition because I was giving out awards, but these cosplayers were amazing, and all of them deserved awards in my eyes. I wish I could have given so many. I do want to take a moment to talk about Creator X, who got my Judge's Choice Award, but he also let me use all these videos and willingly gave them to me, so thank you a lot. I appreciate that. It is because of him that you actually get to see these people receiving their awards, and you get to see the competitors, and anybody's social media I do have, I will try to put up. But yes, the competition was great. Everybody here was so talented. They trusted me on the microphone a lot, as you can see here, and I'm loud. I really tried to basically persuade the audience into clapping as much as possible because these people deserved it. They were all so talented and wonderful, and I did get group shots of everybody involved in the competition. They're not perfect, but they were all amazing. The deliberation was hard. Me and my fellow judges worked together great, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because, wow, that was hard. But with the competition done, me and my sister went back to our hotel room, we watched House Hunters, and then we woke up the next day, got into cosplay, and tabled again. Day 3. Day 3. I'm losing my voice. Now, I did not film basically at all on Sunday because I was paneling from 10:30 to noon, and then I was talking to competitors and giving them feedback from noon until 3 p.m. when we had to ship out. But thank you to everyone who came to our panels because we did get a pretty good turnout. And also thank you to all of the contestants who not only made the competition possible, but then also came up and asked for feedback and talked to me and just like gave me such a great weekend. Genuinely, everyone in Arkansas was so kind. We went ahead and said one last goodbye to our hotel room, and then we had to frantically pack and get back on the road. We did it. We're done. It's currently 3 o'clock, so we shipped out an hour later than we were expecting, but we're headed back, and it's a 6-hour drive, so final thoughts will be a little bit later. I'm also losing my voice, which is super cool. And then we had to drive back, and I drove 2 hours and then threw out my shoulder. So my poor 17-year-old sister had to then drive 4 hours the rest of the way home. So thank you, Anna. We entertained ourselves, though. We had a great time. Look, here. Popcorn, gummies, candy factory,
4 miles, and chocolate turtles.
And chocolate turtles. Guys, the candy factory is right here. It's coming. It's here. Oh my gosh. There's
World's
another
largest
one.
gift store.
There's another one. Oh my gosh.
It is.
There it is. There it. Oh shoot. Hold on.
Yeah, it's the white building behind there. It's huge. Snacks and drinks.
She also sang to me to help me feel better. But then I dropped her off at my parents' house and I drove home and I was reunited with my sweet, sweet kitty Monet. It was wonderful. And then I crashed. But I'm awake now and it's time to talk about how I enjoyed this guesting experience. I've been told that when you guest and judge, it is something that after the first time, basically, you know if you want to keep doing it or it's just not for you. And after this experience, I can say it is something I would definitely like to keep doing. I really, really loved this experience. I thought it was so much fun. I loved judging the competition. I loved talking to people. I love running educational panels. I was going to school to be a teacher, and then I switched to public speaking, and then I switched to my current degree, which is marketing and advertising. So I like to talk to people despite being an introvert. Also, like, the attendees were just super nice. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but like, the attendees were super nice, and not only that, the judges were super nice. So I'd never met either of these judges. We all share a backyard. Tabitha's in St. Louis. Honey Bun is in Kansas City. So I was like, awesome. I'm so excited to meet some more people who are local. And when you don't know people who you're going to work with, you're typically a little bit scared. And I was, but all these individuals were lovely. Like, while we were deliberating, we were, for the most part, coming to an agreement. You know, if there was something we were like, kind of on the fence about, we would talk about it openly. Like, the judging room was genuinely wonderful. I hope the contestants can all say the same, of like, it was a welcoming, wonderful environment. You know, everybody got, you know, we got up close to everybody's outfit, flipped their seams. You know, I hope all the contestants felt appreciated. I loved a lot of things about this convention, though. I loved the community it cultivated. The staff were very serious about, like, if somebody was uncomfortable or if, you know, somebody was being unruly. We had kids running through the con, and the staff was like, hey, no, like, you can't do that. So I was really appreciative of the staff stepping in, making sure that, like, all of us were taken care for, you know, making sure, do you guys need water? Do you guys need snacks? Is there anything else we can do for you guys? Genuinely very attentive to all their guests and attendees, at least from my point of view. Another thing I loved about this competition, and I want to see more cons do it all the time, is that they actually brought in performance judges, because you guessed it, they had a performance category. Now, a lot of people think that you can just bring in craftsmanship judges for performance. It's not the same thing. Performance is a completely different thing. And you need people who have a background in, like, theater. And so they brought in Honey Bun Cosplay, which was Jackie and Savvy, and they are idols. So they have a lot of experience with the stage. But they also brought in me. And I don't think they knew it, but I grew up in theater. I took acting classes basically all through middle school. I was in theater. When I got to high school, I did choir and ensemble, as well as a lot of public speaking. When I got to college, I continued to do public speaking. And now I'm starting to get into the world of cosplay performances. So I have a pretty, like, extensive history of, like, theater and speech and being on the stage. And so I really appreciated that they also called in performance judges and asked us to make that a part of, like, people's score. Overall, I had a wonderful time, and I hope anybody who watches this and knows who I am or interacted with me or went to the convention can say the same about Arkansas Anime Festival. If you like me and, like, maybe want to see me come back to Arkansas somewhere, you can always recommend me as a guest to a con, which they're probably not going to hire me because I have like 1,200 followers and I'm honestly mid. But you can ask. I mean, it won't hurt to ask. Thank you to everybody who's watching my long form content as I kind of step into that. I really appreciate it. I'll still keep making shorts and, like, doing Instagram and things like that, but I like long form content and it's hard for me to, like, do it consistently, but I'm trying. That is all for now. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.